Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Unfortunately, I'm unable to attend today as well. It's been exactly a month, I was reminded this morning. So welcome. I'm glad for those of you who could join us live. And for those of you that can, we'll be recording the housekeeping parts and then staying on for our learning and discussion parts with Bill and Chris Hirschman from CCTS. So lots of updates from OSPI this month. We have new MTSS guidance. We've been talking about this for a couple months, and hiring and North Central ESD does have someone. I'm not sure that it's been posted yet, but we're pretty excited about this. And the guidance and workbook from OSPI is fabulous, so I would encourage you to check that out. There is an upcoming dyslexia screening training coming from Alicia Roberts-Frank. In regards to reminders and things to consider systematically as you roll that out as it begins next year. Also, if you're in title or LAP, Judy Jensen will be doing some things in your director training as well. We have had questions around safety care, which is also like a right response, or UCURU. Right now, we can't bring them over to the ESD based on our safe opening plan, but if you have staff that want to go and be a train of trainers, there is a training available in Seattle, and you can go to that link if you want to set someone up. If you are unable to do that, we have 2 staff members that are going over from the ESD, and so we will be offering that opportunity, whether our trainers come to you or whether we host that at the ESD over the summer. We'll just kind of wait and see how all that plays out. And then professional development updates from our region. If you're looking for anything, please reach out and let us know. We can help you find it if you don't have time to search through that. OSPI WAC feedback. So last month we talked about a timeline, and that April would be when training started to roll out. What happened was they kind of slowed that down a little bit. They had some significant feedback pieces. This link shows you the feedback they got as well as OSPI's response to that. So if you're interested, there will be another opportunity scheduled for that. Right now, what's in there is that they still want to continue with the draft language, accepting additional feedback. So it's kind of been pushed back to that April, May, but still anticipating that those changes, whatever changes are made from that additional feedback, would happen in July. So they're still aiming for that July date. The SLD changes are not in that WAC feedback. That is from a separate committee right now. Currently, their discussion with that is a slow rollout, that they'll be looking at getting some updates and WACs and things like that, and be looking at implementation of removing the discrepancy model to RTI in 2025. And so this spring, you should be looking for draft language and process and timelines around that, but we haven't seen it yet. The bill tracker link, as you know, last Monday, I think, was the cutoff, or Tuesday, in regards to what bills remained alive. So OSPI has done a great job. If you click on that, they have highlighted the ones that are still being considered. And if you're interested, they're definitely starting to narrow it down. So about now is when I start to look at those things. There's conversations around our grad pathways and ASVAB. So to get into the military, ASVAB does not allow accommodations on it, but we know that we allow accommodations on it for graduation as an actual pathway. So discussions are happening there, and we'll continue to just keep our eyes on that. And then portable background checks for those of you that are in partnerships with Early Head Start, ECAPS, things like that. When you're in preschool, you know that not all of those background checks aligned with who needed what and what system. And so this is a nice flow chart in regards to being able to reduce some of those barriers. And Ryan might want to add something to that. We have new LRE trend data. This is fantastic. It's by district and not broken down specifically by your building. It is really great information. I would encourage you to look at it. You will continue to get your district and building specific LRE data in your budget form in the new management system. So I would normally say iGrants package 267, which is our next one there, but iGrants is sunsetting and we're going to Educational Grant Management System, the EGMS, and there is a training available if you would like to attend and see how that looks. I think it's a much more friendly platform. iGrants kind of reminded me sometimes of the, I don't even remember the name of it, FileMaker, and you used to have to go through and it would go through that. So EGMS looks a little bit more modern. There's tabs across the top, so it feels a little bit more friendly and easy to navigate in that way. If you're participating in IPP funds, June 30th, you need to have end of activities. So you can't be spending any of those funds after that. So make sure you're looking at your business, working with your business manager and making sure you have all those activities done. And July 15th will be the last day that you can invoice. There's lots of updates around ESSER funds and federal IDEA funds. Well, we don't have exact amount for our IDEA funds. We anticipate this being close to how the ESSER funds have rolled out. So your hyperlinks there take you to the exact bulletins and documents coming out. The ESSER funds have already been specific to districts. The IDEA funds have not yet. When you're thinking about these funds, I encourage you to think about them as one-time funds, much like when we received the ARA funds, that couldn't be put for anything long-lasting. And so I'm trying to use the language around think about investments. What can you do in your district that will give you a long-time effect of better outcomes for kids? So things like grow your own teachers, grow your own psychs. You can do tuition reimbursements. You can look at different programs in regards to where are your paras and where do they fit in that grow your own. It doesn't just have to be with an Eastern or a Central. There's other programs out there that might work for them. And as well as psychs, they have programs now that you can be on site. Eastern and Central both have programs like that. So consider that. Training. Can you grow some BCBAs? Do you have some teachers that are really good with behavior that are interested in going back to school, or paras into RBTs? And do you have any programs that over time you're looking for trainer of trainers? And so that might save you some long time cost of travel and things like that, as well as accommodations supporting inclusion. So there's definitely things for our gen ed teachers that we can do, whether that's platforms, so looking at readability and be able to adjust that by grade level and those sort of things that really can help gen ed teachers make it easier to accommodate the needs of students with disabilities in the classroom. So those are some of the things that I've had some discussion around. I'm sure you guys have more, so please share, but I think you're going to be having discussions about the investments that these funds can make to benefit kids. There is an ESSER waiver bulletin. It came out yesterday for Gen Ed. The informational webinar is on March 17th at 5. You can register. They're going to record it. So the March 17th webinar is going to be for all kids and not specific to special ed. I would still encourage you to go so you have a read of what's happening throughout your district with assessments and what that will look like. Specific to special education, March 23rd, Glenna will be talking about SBAC accommodations and WAAIM. And so while they're doing sampling for the waiver, there's definitely going to be an impact on students with disabilities and what that looks like for outcomes. So you can also register for that one. It's on the 23rd. ELPA testing, updated window, March 22nd through June 4th. And there is attached the FAQ if you have any questions about ELPA or WELPA. And with that, I'm done. I'm going to take a pause so Leanne and anyone else can answer any questions as I went over those updates. I know it's a lot. And I want to welcome Chris and thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have a great St. Patrick's Day and stay safe. I look forward to seeing you in person soon.